So I was eating a sandwich the other day.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. And this is a great joke to make for all the podcast listeners who weren't here for when we weren't recording, which is everyone but us.
As a joke precisely for 3 people and no one.
I mean,
One
this
of them
podcast is for 3
said
people.
the joke.
So
We have listeners.
we do 5.
Do you guys use Spotify?
Yes,
I do.
So, I don't know if you guys have noticed this lately, but I love Spotify because I think that their like playlists that they make for you are always really good. I love all their little like things that they do. Currently, my favorite one is they have the day lists, where like it's like a single playlist that changes 3 times a day. Morning, afternoon, and evening, and it just kind of like lines up and creates a playlist of like, I don't know, like 50 songs or something like that, that like all kind of coincide and are based off of like your listening habits at that time of day on that day of the week. And it has not been a miss. I have not had any of those playlists miss at all. And it's not all stuff that like you always listen to. It's a lot of new stuff too, stuff that you don't normally listen to on Spotify. And it has been such a W. My current one right now is Mandolin Gritty Monday Evening. I've been listening to a lot of like country adjacent music, and I haven't had a chance to listen to this yet, but it's been really good. This past Saturday I had Funky Disco Classic House Saturday Morning. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds absurd, but it was so good. It was such a good, relaxing, and like nice way to start my morning. I recommend, if you use Spotify, if you're a Spotify listener of the podcast especially, give it a look. We're not sponsored by Spotify or anything, but I've been enjoying it, and I recommend it.
we do use their platform to upload our shows, though.
That's fair. I'm a big music fan. I love listening to music. I love finding new music. So if you are like me, give it a try because it's a massive W. And since you guys use Spotify, I wonder if you guys will use it. And if you do, bring it up next week on the Cold Open because I want to hear about it.
I might have to. I, for the most part, like Spotify except for one thing, which is their shuffle is terrible.
Their shuffle could use work sometimes.
Every single day, even if I don't reshuffle the playlist I'm listening to, like if it spans across multiple days, it will play Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day multiple times a day, every day. Which would be fine if it wasn't a 9-minute long song and it plays it at least twice a day. This playlist is like 8 hours long, and somehow that song always comes up multiple times.
Because it's a good song.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear it twice a day.
That's the crappy part about like shuffle on like a lot of music platforms is it's not ever really like shuffle. They like try to automatically randomize it because if you like they think like if they just let it shuffle randomly like purely like it actually repeats more. There was like some study that was done on this.
Yeah.
And but because they do that, I hear a lot of the same songs when I shuffle my like 3,000 liked songs.
Yeah,
it's just too
same.
like how I have 3,000 songs and I hear the same like probably 200.
I've got a screenshot somewhere where it's shuffled the same song 4 times in a row. I was like, dude, come on.
I one time because like if an artist release a song as a single and then later on an album, it's technically 2 versions of the song, and I accidentally liked both songs, so it wasn't even the exact same like song. It was the 2 different versions of the same song from album to single back to back one time. I was like, dude, okay. I tried to defend Spotify for shuffle for so long. This is ridiculous. How?
I think I screenshotted it and posted in the USRL, but I had it once where it played 3 songs named Holiday in a row, and then 2 songs later was a 4th song called Holiday. Like it was just like we're just getting them all out right now. It was so weird. Yeah.
Joe, any fun music things? You seem like you just have nothing to add, but I know you listen to music. You talk to me about Noah Khan all the time.
Yeah, all the time. All of like the 2 times that we've talked about it, but
yeah, and like concurrent weeks, and you never talk to me about music
because you went to the
before.
concert. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just saying. I'm just bringing it up.
I don't know. I know you're trying to involve me in the conversation. I
I am.
I just shot you down. I don't know what else
really
to tell
good
you.
way to knock in. I'm really glad that you did that. That was awesome. Thank you for that.
No, I actually so my roommate's actually a DJ. Like he does like DJ and he does music. and stuff. Writes his own music. Pretty
Hmm.
pretty good at it considering he's all self-taught, and I don't know. He usually gives me good song recommendations and stuff. So like,
Yeah.
been listening to this group duo band. I don't know what you want they call themselves, but called Video Age. Pretty good.
Hmm.
I listened to Bleachers, which is Jack Antonoff's band. He was in Fun, and then he writes a lot for Taylor Swift.
Mm.
Really good at like just music, and writes really
I
good
think
stuff.
you showed me some Bleachers stuff.
Yeah, they just released a new song this past week, and when I tell you I love saxophones in like pop music or any type of like indie music, new song it is now my new wake up song in the morning. So
Nice.
just
You have a wake up. Do you have like songs for like different moods, Joe? Do you like have
of course.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like if you're in a depressive episode, you gotta listen to sad music, right? To just
Sometimes I
keep
listen to sad music
going.
even when I'm really happy because it's just
Yeah.
good music. I have a whole sad playlist. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll play music to like change my mood, but yeah, I can't like listen to sad music if I'm not sad.
Oh, I absolutely can. It's a lot of fun. I love happy song or sad songs that sound happy, like sonically are happy, but their lyrics are like devastating. Like hold on, there's a few. Let me go into my sad playlist actually. You guys waffle while I do that.
I'm waffling here. What's your favorite
Okay,
kind
well,
of
that was
waffle, Matt?
That's a really good.
I'm not
waffle.
gonna lie. I think we talked about this before. I don't really eat like sweet stuff for breakfast.
Oh
very
my
often.
god! I live in California. I'm all health conscious. I don't eat sweet stuff for breakfast.
I've eaten like 6 slices of pizza in the last 12 hours. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
There's like kind of like I wouldn't say he's pop music. Like there was kind of like a weird genre of like alt pop that was like really popular on Spotify, but never really made it like on the radio kind of pop music. His name's Ty Verdes, I think. It's a song called 100 Sad Songs. It's really good. I really love that song. Got me through my last breakup. But it is like it sounds really happy and it's very like danceable, but it's very sad. It's a very sad song, but I love it. That's my favorite example of like a happy sounding sad song. By far.
I'm trying to think. I know I have some examples like that, but none of them are coming to mind. Damn it.
Oh, Guilty by Lady Ray. If you like kind of like funk and stuff like that, like old sounding like just like house cleaning music on a Sunday, that's a good song. Very sad, sounds kind of happy. We're a music podcast now.
Yeah.
I wish. I'm getting sick and tired of talking about racing all the time.
Listen, I'm down to make our cold opens about music for like a couple weeks because I have no shortage of things I can talk about that I've been listening to, and I like hearing what other people are listening to. So it'd be interesting for me to hear what you guys are up to. Personally,
you ever just get disillusioned with something? Like it's like
No.
disillusioned.
What? Are you just saying that because you like the word, or like what do you mean?
No, like you just like stop. Like I don't know. You get disillusioned with things.
Can you explain further
Yeah, like an
what you're
example?
talking about?
I don't know. Like you just you stop liking it. Like you just
Well, okay, great,
Like,
but like, yes, I
know.
understand the
With
definition
anything.
of the word,
with
Joe.
anything. I'm just asking. You get disillusioned with things. Like, do you get disillusioned with me when I don't make sense like this? I don't know. Like,
No, I don't get disillusioned with you because I like you, Joe. I feel like I don't get disillusioned by a lot of things that I genuinely care about or have like loved for a long time. Like, I don't think I could get disillusioned by racing or NASCAR. I've loved it for so long that like I'm here for the changes and I understand why the changes that I don't like are made, etc., etc. Same with like music or video games, certain video games, sim racing. Like, if I truly love it and care about it, like I will find a way back into it at some point, even if I gotta take a break.
I guess I kind of got a little disillusioned with NASCAR for like 3 or 4 years because like 2019, I barely even watched like at all.
Mm-hmm.
I like followed what was happening, but I can't remember really any races that I sat down and watched. But like, it helps that the last couple of years have been pretty good. That got me like interested again. But it was like COVID made me realize that I missed NASCAR a lot, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm back in now.
I kind of like from like the year I started following F1, like in 2012, through to like the first half of 2016. I was kind of like that way. I kind of went through that phase that a lot of people are going through right now in like our kind of friend circle that are just like, don't care about NASCAR, all IndyCar, all F1, like this is all I care about. And like I came back around on NASCAR, and my prediction is that they're going to come back around on it too. Some of these people that are against it. It's just inevitable because it's too similar to what I did like almost a decade ago.
I have this, you know when you're like in middle school, and you're like, oh man, I'm in middle school. I'm the bee's knees, you know. Oh, I'm a big kid now.
Did you think
that?
No. Okay, but yeah, I heard.
But you know how like people are like even in high school, like they think, oh man, I'm so cool. Or you go to college, oh man, I'm a college kid. Like I think everyone at some point in their life kind of thinks they're them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As the kids say.
As the kids say, he says.
I don't know, man. I'm a 70-year-old man trapped in however old I am's body.
Doing great.
I think that's what some of it is. I always think there's a bit of, oh, this NASCAR stuff's stupid. It's beneath me. I'm too smart for it.
Maybe. I mean, that's kind of what I felt like. I was like, this isn't exciting to me anymore. I have Formula One, and it's amazing. This 2012 season's ridiculous.
Wow, look at how cool this is.
And then you realize that season was an extreme anomaly in the history of F1.
Yes, I did. It was a hard, like when in 2013 when they switched back to the old tire compounds. I was like, oh, this is Formula One. Oh, and I liked it. Like I'm a big fan of Sebastian Vettel, so I was like cool with it. But I was like, damn, this is how it is. This is rough.
I was like super into it, and then you had the Turbo V6 era, and I was like, well, at least Nico's still winning races. And then Nico retired, and I was like,
yeah.
Well, guess I'm not emotionally invested anymore.
Yeah. This is actually an interesting thing I would love to talk about more, but we do have current events to talk about.
Wow!
Because this
Davey's
weekend
moving us along this week.
I
love it.
In Texas, and I gotta say, just a preface, just to start us off, Joe. Man, was Texas pretty decent. That was a decent.
I mean, there's
Texas
a reason
race.
we're all wearing blue.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't. Is there a reason? I'm lost. I'm sorry.
It was good racing. You had everything, and then you had two winners that are the equivalent of wet blankets. William Byron wins Cup race on Sunday.
The Mayo Man himself.
Him and Liberty University get Hendrick their 300th win. Which, how quick
Cool
they
for
had
them.
that stuff ready, it was crazy.
You know they had that. They had that in the trailers.
Oh,
like,
they've had it
waiting.
for months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. William Byron kind of got cold. It felt, even though they won at Watkins Glen, and they were really good at Indy, they just bad track position to start that race. It felt like they got really cold throughout the summer.
And they did too. It's not just like that; they were genuinely not running as well.
Oh yeah.
But now to get a win in a race where they really didn't feel like they were up there. I think they were running in the teens most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But then to win a race the way they did, I mean, we'll talk about Kyle Larson in a minute, but I don't know. That's what you want out of a championship front runner, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people saying that William Byron's back in contention to win the championship need to pump the brakes a little bit.
Ooh, pump the brakes.
Yeah, I do think that because I still think Kyle Larson's been much better. I still think Denny Hamlin's been much better. There's a I don't think William Byron is quite there yet, and listen, he could totally turn around. That 24 team is like that. They could turn around and they could win, like rip off a few wins, and suddenly my mind's changed. They could prove me wrong, but up to now, like we were talking about, they cooled down and they were not running that well, and they won races just like they did today, but they have not been running that well. This kind of like summer stretch into the fall, like the dog days of the season sort of thing.
Yeah, Yeah, I'd say I agree. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, but like, it really caught me off guard, that stretch they had from like Gateway to Watkins Glen, where they had like one top 10 outside of the race at Atlanta that he won. Like, and it's the same thing they did last year, where they got their couple wins early and then they just kind of disappeared for the rest of the year, and then kind of showed up again at the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what he's been good at for like the last year and a half, is just kind of coming out of nowhere and snagging a win when they need it. So
How many truly dominant wins has he had this year? Of any of that? I guess Watkins Glen, maybe?
Watkins Glen. But, excuse me. I struggle with that one just because the way the road course package is, especially at Watkins Glen. I feel like it affects Watkins Glen more than the other road courses, where track position is unbelievably king. And they had the pace to get up there, of course, but
no stage cautions.
No stage cautions. Not to say that any race is easy to dominate, but it was easier to dominate that Watkins Glen race.
The level of difficulty to dominate that race was lower than that of another race.
That's
what Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
You're such a grammatical mastermind.
Yep. Speaking of Kyle Larson, though, when you were mentioning him,
into the walls,
crashed really hard. That was an 8.5.
That was a decent little crash.
Wow. Let me tell you, Texas. Wow. It is crazy how bad turns 1 and 2 are at Texas.
Explain, Joe.
So, and I have Kyle Busch on here too. But the fact that if you get out of 2 grooves on the racetrack, and I know that's not why Larson wrecked, but the fact if you get out of those 2 grooves and you are immediately like either going to wreck or fall back 20 spots is ludicrous. It is stupid. It is idiotic. It makes no sense. Whoever thought this was a good idea to reprofile the track was an idiot. And I hate it. And I just wanted an opportunity to say that. Because at the end of the day, that's the reason Larson crashed, is because Bubba Wallace, his only choice is to be right there on the door of the 5. Right? Like, that's his only choice if he wants to win.
Yeah.
And guess what, folks? He wants to win.
Well, I'm pretty sure a big part of it, too, is like the amount of PJ1 that they put on the track that had the exact opposite effect it was supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
And now they can't get it off.
Yep.
They literally ruined the pavement 3 years after they spent millions of dollars to repave it.
I love it. I think that's the funniest thing in the world. Like, we've joked about this before, but billions of years into the future, Earth is going to be but like a scorched wasteland, and there's going to be a ring of PJ1 where Texas was. It's just unbelievable.
You would think that they would tear up turns 1 and 2 and just, I don't know, do something.
Yeah. Is that... Here's the thing. Why haven't they yet? What is stopping us right now?
Money. Timelines.
Texas has the money. I'm gonna tell you right now, Texas got the money.
Yeah.
Timelines maybe, but Texas has the money.
Timelines, then.
It's got to be the only thing. Because there's no way
there's a
Texas Motor Speedway.
That we're gonna remedy that, but
I've heard.
Got it on the sheet. Talk about it.
We'll talk about it a little later with some schedules coming out.
Kyle Larson now only 2 points to the good. Going into what is his worst track.
Speaking of Bubba, though, like, great run, won the pole, came up short, unfortunately, but his post race interview, I don't want to say it's like frustrating because I get he's like mad, but he's got to like learn to take positives from things, because it really bummed me out seeing him be so hard on himself in that race afterwards. I'm like, man, you guys had a great race. It's hard to learn how to win these races. Like, the only way you're going to learn how to win these is by screwing up, or making the wrong moves, or not doing the right thing. And so, like, to watch him like beat himself up and seemingly take no positives out of it, I was like, man, come on.
Yeah,
I do. You got to be nice of yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that maybe, hopefully, this is something that in their Monday meetings, he can, he probably walks that back a little bit because it was a great day for that team.
Oh,
They took a pretty large gap and made it what it is now.
Manageable.
Yeah, exactly. Heading into one of Bubba's better tracks, that team always performs well at the super speedways, and yeah, it is frustrating to see him so hard himself after what was a really great run, and really, you know, he did a really good job managing what he had. Like, William Byron was obviously coming very fast, and that restart wasn't great for him, and it was the move on the backstretch that really kind of did it, and it was just that one move where he tried to he tried to make it really shallow for William, but really he ended up making it shallow for himself too. And the way Texas is, it's just those corners.
You
It
can't
just
lose your
doesn't quite
momentum
work
in
out.
3 and 4.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I didn't like the choice to take the top on that last restart. I know it worked the time before, and I know that's kind of what the theory was in the Xfinity race. I wanted to line up in front of the 24. on
Yeah,
restart.
that did seem like a very like track centric like pick when given the context. I agree with you. I would want to be in front of Byron
I
at that
wouldn't-
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Byron takes the top.
No,
To be on row 2.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I
no.
don't think
if
he would have had the choice either. But
yeah, I don't.
and Briscoe
I
obviously
agree
wasn't
with you.
strong enough to fight for more than a half a lap, anyways. And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, that was enough to kind of seal the deal for the 23 not getting in victory lane. But
yeah, and it stinks too. I think he was about to. I truly think he had the pace to beat Larson on that first restart where Larson ended up wrecking. It's just unfortunate that he did wreck.
well, and then he got
again,
free and clear on that second one. I mean,
Yeah, true.
like, thanks Eric Jones and Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney.
Why did everyone hit the wall?
I've done that before
crazy.
sim racing, so I can tell
but-
you if you think that guy in front of you is
No.
not going to make a mistake, and then he does, and you're like, oh crap,
Yeah,
I'm
which
making
is
the mistake
fine.
too. I'm
I
in the
get it if
wall.
it was 1. If it was 2, I'm like, okay. It was like 3 plus.
Hey
like
man, you got to push the issue. It's the end of the race.
like a percentage of the
Woo.
field hit the wall. It was so funny.
Track was slick.
Remind-
I don't know.
It reminded me of Coda last year where Kurt Busch ran off track and then like Kyle Larson and Joey Logano just followed him off track into the tires because they couldn't see where the track was. They're like, I guess this is where the line is. Oh, there's tires. Yeah.
Kurt knows what he's doing. So, I don't know. That was weird. Kyle Busch also crashed in this race. Drove the car backwards back to pit lane. So that was pretty cool.
As he's one to do.
Kyle Busch don't care, man.
He does not care. If you thought he cared, he don't.
They have no momentum at RCR right now.
Ooh, yeah. I'm looking at their recent finishes.
First
It's not
half, wow. Kyle Busch and RCR, they're making it work. Second half, what the F are we doing?
What has happened to that race team?
They remember they were RCR.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I don't know. That's not like supposed to be a dig or anything, but if you look at the Chevy pecking order, it's Hendrick. It feels like it's Trackhouse at 2 now,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like it's RCR. I don't know why that is. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
But it did.
I mean, even yesterday, Allmendinger was having a better run than like a lot of the like the RCR guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Austin Dillon.
I do know Austin Dillon. I understand.
Former Texas winner, by the way.
A lot of good it did him.
Oh, dead last. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he crashed too.
Yeah. That's
He
right, I forgot about
crashed
that.
running like 12th. So
Mhm.
that's we'll be fair to him, but
Actually, a couple of shocking good runs. SHR had a really good day.
SHR
Yeah, oh,
had a
yeah.
good
I think-
day.
I think everyone-
Shocking.
I think everyone
Since
minus
3 years ago.
Almirola was doing really well. Like Ryan Preece was running up as a top 10 at one point. Chase Briscoe was obviously up front of that last restart. Kevin Harvick had great speed. A very shocking great day for SHR all around.
Will SHR figure it out? Who knows?
The Lord knows, because I certainly
Hey,
don't.
we got a super speedway this week, and they were really good at Daytona for some reason. So
Yeah, true.
True.
we'll see. Yeah, so the 8 team has no momentum, and then Xfinity side, John Hunter won.
Yeah,
Parker Clearman
Darn.
finished second.
so close.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
close.
I was rooting for him there at the end too.
Yeah.
I saw
It's like
people
what-
going crazy, and I turned the race on to see John Hunter pass Parker. And I literally
Got there at a bad time.
I literally
Yeah.
turned it off. Like I pulled it up on my phone and I just turned it off. I closed out of the app and was like, all right, never mind.
You got there at a bad time. I'll give you that.
This was gonna be so good, and then it wasn't. And it was like, oh.
It was like what you were talking about with the turns 1 and 2. Sam Mayer missed the groove on the start and just pancaked the wall on the first lap because there's
Dude.
literally no grip up there. And it was like, well, have fun with the rest of your day.
And then Riley Herbst did it literally a corner later.
Yeah.
What is Riley Herbst?
Technically a race car driver.
All right.
Dude, he's gonna be the greatest future real estate agent. Man, him and Dylan Kwasniewski are gonna be best buds.
Do you think they're gonna mix Rockstar and Monster and call it their own thing?
It's called a trip to the hospital. That's what it's going to be called.
It's called a heart attack, Joe.
Hospital
Yeah.
Energy. Get yours today.
Josh Berry wrecked and had another bad day.
What?
A lot of
What is
playoff guys with
wrong
problems.
with the 8 team?
I don't know.
Why
It's
are
been
they
weird.
so weird this year?
Yeah.
All of JRM is.
Why is JRM bad?
They're not bad. They
Yes,
just,
they
like,
are.
step on their own dick most of the time.
What? Sam Mayer has 2 wins. Allgaier has 2 wins, right?
Allgaier's got
Or
3.
does he have 3?
Yeah, he's got more than 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like Josh Berry,
he's got 3. Crazy.
Josh Berry's been close this year, but like he's made a lot of mistakes and gotten caught up in a lot of incidents
Like-
this year.
Do we think he's distracted?
I don't know.
It's
I think John
possible.
Hunter Nemechek is just really friggin' good this year.
Well,
I think
okay,
that's,
but
that's
that's-
a big part of it.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think John Hunter's distracted?
I don't know.
dumb joke could make their.
You think Sammy Smith is distracted?
Shut up,
Remember
Joe.
when they started making a big deal about AJ Allmendinger being distracted because his wife was pregnant and she hadn't, like... Do you remember that a couple weeks ago?
I don't.
I do. I remember some people saying some stuff
Oh,
like
he must
that.
be distracted and he's having a bad year and now the contract stuff. Shut up. Let the man live. It's a crazy time in his life.
I do think maybe something with Josh Berry is like for the first time ever, maybe he feels like a little bit of pressure to perform. Like it's his last year at JRM that kind of gave him his shot to get into Xfinity, and
How do you alleviate that
it's-
pressure, though?
it's not. I don't think anyone really knows because like it's not like he had. I'm not gonna say he wasn't under any pressure last year to perform, but like, dude got into Xfinity at his age and. Has Junior behind him who loves him and the fans love him. He's guaranteed like some sort of ride just based on the fact that he can sell merchandise to short track fans, and he's at JRM, and like there's really not a ton of pressure. So I don't know. I mean, how do you beat it? I don't know, man. You gotta just figure it out.
Yeah. Just gotta go win. It's the easiest way. So.
I bet if he can win, or if he had won earlier in the season, the monkey's off his back, and he's doing a lot better because he's making a ton of mistakes, and it's not like they're running bad; they are making mistakes.
Yeah, and I think a big part too is last year there kind of wasn't. I wouldn't say there was no expectations, but it was almost like a relief. Like, hey, he got his ride; he's finally arrived. And last year was a title contender and was one of the best guys in Xfinity. And now this year there is that pressure to run it back, and
Exactly.
they probably haven't lived up to that fully. So
I mean, the year before that he came in. That was the year before that he came in at Martinsville, won at Martinsville, like as not a full-time driver. Like at that point, I mean, you're set. It makes sense that this year would, maybe they're trying to match it and making mistakes in the process.
yeah, I agree.
All right. From the shop. Shop noises. Shop noises. Shop noises.
This is a
I
big
have my
one.
soundboard up.
This is a rumor.
This is a big one. This one came out just today, right? I saw the tweet.
Yeah. I don't know how true it is, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to say that this is for sure, but it sounds like an announcement might be coming this week. Spire Motorsports buying into / all of, I couldn't really tell what the tweet meant, but of Kyle Busch Motorsports in the Truck Series.
The only thing that gives me pause about this is it's tweeted by a page which is at privateporno69. But I also went back and like his first couple tweets were like him calling silly season stuff like months before it got announced. So maybe this is just somebody in the industry's burner.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Yeah,
It's gotta be.
So I mean, he called Josh Berry to SHR replacing Kevin Harvick like 2 months before that was announced.
Damn.
So, and
Yeah.
a day before the Legacy Motor Club Toyota announcement, he was a day before that too. So
Yeah, this guy. It's gotta be. It's some sort of insider with a burner.
yeah,
And I mean, I guess there's reason to believe that this is true. If it is, though, I don't really know what that means for KBM.
Well, it would make sense because Spire's trying to increase their profile in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Which, remember like 3 years ago when the Spire like owner, one of the guys went on Dale Jr.'s show, like, and they were like, yeah, we're going to ask him the tough questions. Like, do you even want to be here? Do you want to compete? Do you want to win? And, his answer to all those questions was like, yes, we're trying to compete and we're trying to win. And now they're trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Getting the third charter in the Cup Series, whether it ends up being a Trackhouse charter, whatever happens there for Zane, right? Building an alliance with a really good established team. That's, pretty big for them. The whole Gainbridge deal and Andretti kind of just floating in the atmosphere right now around Spire. Pretty big deal. You now have a 22-23 race sponsor in the Cup Series for two of your, for some of your inventory that you have. That's a big deal. If you get this truck team and, all of a sudden Marco Andretti's running full-time in the Truck Series for you, that's a big deal. Like, there are things going on over there that indicate that they weren't lying, which I think is a important thing because I think Spire and Rick Ware, they've kind of been teams that have been ragged on a lot about that they're only here to collect a check, and or at least trying not to do that anymore and trying to compete.
I'm really intrigued to see how it goes because like that was a narrative that wasn't like that wasn't just like a couple of idiots on Twitter that were saying that. I mean, there were people in the industry that weren't sure what Rick Ware Racing was doing. I've heard it on multiple shows and podcasts. Like, what's Rick doing? What's that about? And now here we are, like Justin Haley's jumping ship from Colleague, which everyone kind of ranks highly as a race team, to Rick Ware. Here we go.
I listened to Dale Jr.'s show last week, and Justin Haley being like, "Yeah, I went and met Rick, and then all of a sudden I'm getting the address for RFK, and I'm like, why am I meeting you here? Like, it was crazy, right?"
There's Dirty Mo Media uploaded a clip of like part of that interview, and I'm pretty sure it's just titled like, "Why are you going to Rick Ware Racing?" Yeah. Why is Justin Haley leaving Colleague Racing for Rick Ware Racing? It's just the title.
But like you start to put the pieces together, and that's kind of like the genesis for all of this discussion right now. Is like it's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
Like it's all starting to come together. Like I don't know if they were like just business geniuses that this was like the 5-10 year plan, or if this is just like, hey, we got these opportunities now. Storehouse Racing is like shit the bed. Let's make ourselves the 4 team, boys. Like I don't know. Like was it opportunistic? Was it the plan? I have no idea. Spire seems like it was more of a plan. Gorilla Joy was talking a lot of game about Spire years ago. When that move happened. So
kind of similar to what Justin Haley's saying about Rick Ware now.
That's true. That's very true. That's actually a very good point. I didn't even think about that.
I got you.
Thank you. That's cool.
I want to see everyone compete. And I also hope that, if the grid gets stronger, we don't start saying guys that, like Harrison Burton has gotten an ungodly amount of hate for how well that 21 team has performed. Mm-hmm. When I don't think people realize how much more competitive the grid is with this car. I mean, think about it. Trackhouse, they got they got the 2 Ganassi charters, and like Ganassi was like a 20th place team. You know, they'd have some top 10s, but they were kind of 15th to 25th, right? It's kind of where they were.
They were the midfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they move up. Someone's got to go down. You know, the 21 was midfield. The 2 was kind of up. The 22 this year is obviously not anywhere. Like, they're Stuart Haas's. They're like the back of the pack now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, should I be saying this? So, I hope people don't start trying to discredit what people are doing, what teams are doing, what all these people that are working really hard to win races, because guess what? It's harder to do it now than it ever has been.
Mhm.
So, which I know is cliche, locker room, blah, 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 rah-rah talk, but, I don't know. It's just, I hope that with teams like Spire trying to get better, it doesn't start discrediting teams like the 21, like, you know, like the guys at SHR that are obviously going through it this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, no, that's a good point. The landscape's changing.
Hell.
There's a lot of fast race teams. We could go to any given racetrack,
RFK could have 2 cars in the round of 8 this year. Like,
which I don't think. Again, we keep
No
saying
one-
this, and they keep going further, but no one would have said that.
no, I think at the start of the year I was like, yeah, I hope RFK. You know, I hope Brad wins a race, and you know, if he win a race, that'd be pretty cool. You know, maybe get to the round of 12, and now it's like, oh my god, if they don't make the round of 8, it feels like they're wasting all this momentum they have.
Yeah, Chris Buescher is like a title contender now.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
I mean, genuinely, there's probably 25 race teams that I think are contenders
Can
to
win a
make the
race.
playoffs. Can win a race, can make the playoffs
Yeah.
on a given weekend and on a given season now. I mean, even those cars that are at the back of the pack. Like, I'm going to Ryan Preece because I'm a Ryan Preece fan and I know a lot about it. But, like, Ryan Preece doesn't get the speeding penalty at Martinsville. He could win Martinsville and be in the playoffs. Kevin Harvick easily could have, performed well. Chase Briscoe's there. But, that's just how it is. That was a Chase Briscoe dig. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't really appreciate that one.
Sorry.
Chase Briscoe's a cool dude. He doesn't
That's okay.
deserve that.
Yeah, well.
Not all his fans are, but you know.
Soon, eventually,
is.
he'll deserve eventually for me to not talk about how bad he's been.
Well, that whole team's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's true. but it's true. But he's been worse than the much more shat on Ryan Preece and Eric Almirola. So
well, I don't know. Tell those guys to do something. I don't know. Do something about it. I don't know.
I'm doing something about it right now, and you're not happy about it, and that
No,
stinks.
I'm not.
Because guess what? I'm gonna do it next season when Daniel Hemrick finishes 23rd every week.
Good.
And it's gonna be great.
Good. He will deserve it. Colleague will deserve it when they are trotting out their lineup of Daniel Hemrick and Ty Dillon.
To be fair, Justin Haley's 24th in points, so that'd be like right on par where they're running right now.
Does anyone think
Justin
Justin Haley
Haley
is an
has
exceptional talent?
Justin
Yeah.
Haley
Oh,
had a
yeah.
75-point penalty. Where is he if you add 75 points?
Probably like
20th?
22nd.
Damn.
Ahead of Austin Cindric, though.
By
That's
the way,
not saying a lot.
By the way,
Like,
Austin Cindric, what are we doing with the running 35th?
it is impressive how bad he's been.
You know, as a Brad
really thought he was gonna be good.
as a Brad Keselowski fan that had to sit there and watch Austin Cindric win the Daytona 500 in Brad's car, and had to go through that, and had to feel this weird like pit in my stomach that like I don't know why it was there. Because like I was happy, but I was also like extremely disappointed. Not gonna
Guess what?
lie, seeing the
They're
two-car
gonna-
struggle, I'm okay with it.
But guess what? They're gonna play every Daytona 500. They're gonna play a clip of the 2-car doing burnouts and crossing the line in first, and every year until Brad Keselowski leaves the RFK team, you're gonna hear about how he never won a 500.
Yep.
I'm going to post this because if you go on Austin Cindric's page on NASCAR.com and you go, most recent news, 2 of the 3 of them are him crashing.
Oh man. I
And
don't
if
know.
they had
What...
updated properly, all 3 of them would be crashing because he crashed again this week.
And by the way, Austin Cindric, power to him. He has taken it all on the chin.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, we're not good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I do think he's a cool guy.
there's like,
but he needs to perform.
yeah. But I think he knows that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Penske knows that. Like, they as a whole have not been good.
I can't wait to do our driver grades at the end of the season.
It's going to be great. Austin Cindric, F. Texas wants to move their race to the spring. They think it'll be better. I would have to agree. You get out of football season, which I think is probably a big draw away from the racetrack. Football's big in Texas.
Yep.
And also you'd hopefully have cooler weather. It was 100 degrees there. That's crazy. Have the Texas race in March. Who says no?
Not me.
Take the
Kick off
IndyCar date.
Kick off the West Coast swing or something.
Yeah, Texas second race of the year. Do it.
Well, I don't know.
The only problem I see is COTA.
Let's brainstorm that one.
Because I think they're still going to race at COTA unless maybe Montreal is taking the COTA date. But I don't think there's a way we only race once in Texas next year. That wouldn't make a lot of sense either.
Big market for racing.
Yeah, and I think Austin and Fort Worth, they're a decent Fort Worth. They're a decent ways away from each other. So like you kind of serve different parts of the state because Texas is a really big state.
Yeah. Austin is pretty far south of Fort Worth. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you put COTA because you don't want those two races to be too close to each other either. Is the other problem?
Yeah. I mean, God, I don't want to leave COTA because I feel like I like the COTA race, but do we just leave COTA?
Listen, I'm just saying, doubleheader with F1, that'd be pretty cool.
Never.
It'll never happen, but it'd be pretty cool.
Never. A lot of IndyCar fans are really butthurt that NASCAR won't work with IndyCar because they want it to benefit NASCAR. The little do they know, that's just how it works. And if we tried to do that with F1, F1 would be like, who?
Yeah, pretty
what?
much.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Not me.
You're like, oh, you mean that place that our retired drivers go and hang out at? Yeah.
Like, they would not care.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they shouldn't care. It would be really cool, but it's just like so far down the list of possible things.
Yeah, and F1's in a position where it literally doesn't, like, there's very little benefit to bringing NASCAR along because they're a guaranteed draw no matter where they race in the U.S.
Yep.
That's why they're racing here 3 times now. Yeah, so I don't know where COTA ends up falling then. Maybe it goes into May. I don't know. Schedule's going to be weird because we still don't know what we're doing with the Auto Club with that date. Which is also like the Montreal date could be that. I just... Also, there's probably going to be a double header in there somewhere, it sounds like. Because of the Olympics.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, if we did...
2-week break for the Olympics?
Yes. At the end of July.
Mm-hmm.
So, double header at Michigan. Sign me up. I don't care. I'd be there.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. Are you sure like the grandstands aren't going to collapse?
I mean, they might.
that much use in 2 days? I don't know.
Dude, listen, man. I'm still waiting for those facility upgrades. It's crazy. I've been waiting on them since 2005. It's
God damn.
insane. But now they sell Little Caesars pizza instead of Kaijin pizza. So, you know,
wow.
Dude, we have like...
We even downgraded the pizza.
We got like, for the cup races at Daytona, we got like tastes of the world kind of deal. Like we got like, there's Mexican food, there's typical
like
Americana.
They have like there's like a good barbecue.
All sorts
there's like a barbecue thing. There's like one barbecue stand at the other side. They got like the carnival food places kind of set up. I don't remember them.
I want to bring you to a cup race at Daytona so bad.
I know,
because
it would be
you
literally...
will hate your life every Michigan race you go to. It will ruin your experience
Indy.
For the rest of your life.
I went to Indy, and Indy, like, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, they don't have to try, right? They're Indianapolis. No. They don't have to try. The grandstands, they're not great. They're old. Who cares? let me tell you, the bathrooms were awesome, and the fan zone was really well done. And guess what? You know what else Indy had? Oh yeah, it's Indy. So who cares if the amenities suck? You're Michigan. You got to do something. This track, we used to have a good track president, and then he went to work for Consumers Energy because NASCAR was like, we don't want to pay you to stay around. We're going to put this other guy in charge, who he's actually going to leave in a couple years to go run his family's minor league baseball team, and then we're going to stick you with a different track president, and then we're going to do it again 2 years later, because who needs? I'm still buying tickets next year. So does this matter? No.
It does.
They got you.
But
yeah, you want to know what Daytona was like? Daytona was like, it's a pretty good racetrack, pretty good seating arrangements and stuff. Let's make it a stadium. And then everyone was like, that's stupid. What are you talking about? A stadium? And then everyone walked in for the first time after Daytona Rising was done. And they're like, oh my God, this is a stadium. And this is amazing.
It makes no sense why they have put $0 and 0 cents into MIS.
I want to give a big shout out to Sonoma in 2017 when they ran out of water when it was like 110 degrees. I can't tell you how many free cans of Monster I drank that day just to sustain myself.
Nashville did the same thing though, that first Cup race, remember?
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
How?
Fun thing about that, because that was the first year of Monster Energy sponsorship, so everywhere you went, it was just free cans of Monster. And there was one of like the flats that like one of the cans had burst, and so they just threw the whole thing away, and my uncle just took it. So we had like 36 Monsters. And
Hell yeah!
Like, here, just have as many as you need. There's not going to be any water today, so.
It was near the end of the race, so I understood it. But when we went to Darlington, I was like, hey, I'm going to get like some food and some drink. I was like, I'm hungry. I want to have something to eat before the end of this race so I can settle down, let the food settle, watch this race. It'll be great. I go to the stand, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to order some lemonade and a hot dog. And I watched the guy in front of me stand there for like 7 minutes because little did I know, he ordered like every lemonade that was left, like all the lemonade that was left in Darlington, and then 12 hot dogs. The guy walked away like no joke, like this, with his arms out, full of stuff, like squashed against his chest. And I'm like, oh my God. Hey, can I get a lemonade? I'm screaming because the track's fucking loud. Can I get a lemonade and a hot dog? And they're like, no more of that. I'm like, oh, like no more lemonade? No more lemonade. Oh, well, can I get a hot dog? No more hot dog. Wow. Okay. Can I just get a burger and a Coke? I don't know what you want from me anymore. Like a Sprite or something. And yeah, that was fun.
I'm sorry.
It's not as diabolical as your circumstances, but it was pretty funny watching that guy walk away with my fucking hot dog and lemonade. Bastard.
Also, one final note, because every racetrack, you know what? So much money, like Richmond put a lot of money into like the garage area that they have, right? And like Phoenix has a really nice garage area now, but Phoenix also like redid. Yeah, but Vegas has had it for a while. I'm talking like recently developed. Like Phoenix put in a really nice garage area and stuff, and Phoenix also did some stuff with their grandstands and seating to make it a little bit nicer. Instead of spending money on making a fancy garage that we barely use anymore, I don't know, maybe buy more water. Or, I don't know, maybe make the bathrooms so they don't look like they're out of the 1980s. Or, you know what, it's worse. Maybe make them so they don't look like they're out of the 1930s. Like, this is not the Great Depression, okay? Like, stop.
Joe is sick of going to the trough.
You know how frustrating it is to know that they... And the other thing that grinds my gears... During COVID, right? All these tracks, they were like, "Oh man, we're so poor. We need your money. We'll give you an extra 25% on your tickets next year if you let us keep your money for this year. And we need your money so bad. Oh, we need your money." So I was like, "Okay, Michigan, I'll buy tickets, and you can have my money." And that's how I have my tickets every year that I have to renew, because I was like, "I'll take 25%. I'm gaining something." You'd think they would have done something with that money. You'd think they would have figured something out. No. Just no. But at least they don't charge us for parking. I don't know.
I didn't get charged parking at Darlington.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice.
it's nice not being charged for parking. You know what else would be nice?
What's that, Joe?
If the awnings on the concession stands weren't falling on my head during the race. Okay? Like, that would be great.
Oh my gosh.
Or, you know,
Man.
if the grandstands didn't sway. Like, I don't know.
Does that happen? Is that real?
Some tracks, yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Not Michigan.
Yeah. I
Michigan's
was
like,
gonna say, does it happen in Michigan? Good lord.
no. No, but yeah.
At Daytona, you might as well be standing ground level everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to, like, you're just gonna feel so spoiled if you ever come to Daytona for a cup race. Like,
I'm thinking about doing August next year.
dude, if you do August, I'm going.
Well, yeah. That would kind of be the point of going.
Well, I mean, you know, maybe you want to go hang out with Weaver.
Well, I do
Finally settle the details on that gambling podcast.
Yeah, we're still working on it. IndyCar's returning to Milwaukee for a doubleheader.
Hell yeah.
They're
Cool.
not going to Texas. They're also going to have a non-points $1 million race at the Thermal Club.
Can't call it the All-Star race, can they?
Probably not.
I was gonna
trademarked.
say, probably cannot call it that.
Probably also not an all-star race.
Fair. That's
What is
lame.
the fuck?
Boo. Give me a draw.
What is this?
The Thermal
It's
Club?
like a. I'm not gonna lie. It's like.
it's cool, but it's like a little pretentious, which I guess we would fit in with that crowd now.
Yeah, we would. Here's the deal.
New Fake
The
Racers
Thermal
podcast,
Club
go get it.
is like not just because it's in the name. It is a club track. Like that is. Like this. Like it is a. It is like a club track. Really high end club track.
Yeah, I was
But it's a
gonna
club
say.
track.
Isn't it like FIA? Like,
Okay, this is how
yeah.
every
no,
single road
with you.
around it is named after a famous track.
yeah.
So there's Laguna Seca Lane, and that goes to Imola Drive, which then goes to Monaco Way, which then goes to Watkins Glen Drive,
Oh my.
Goodwood Drive. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just a pretentious club track that has a lot of money and can do things like that. Like, do they even have like a what is Thermal? Like, is that a town? Is it a community?
Well, Thermal means like,
Oh yeah, there's a town named Thermal right next.
Yeah, I was
to it.
gonna say.
Oh, it's in Coachella Valley. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. We're cracking the code here. It is
Yeah.
essentially it's just if you have like a local road racing track that like doesn't get a lot of like, you know, it's used for like track days and you know for people to bring their cars. It's kind of like that, but for people with a lot of money, and apparently IndyCar now. So
they had a test there this year too.
they did.
So, not surprised. Also, I believe there's more races on USA this upcoming year than there have been in the past, so that's a little disappointing. And there's also 2 Peacock exclusive races instead of 1. I don't know if that's good or bad for IndyCar. Probably not good if there are less races on NBC, because I think they kind of need as many as they can get. But
What's going on with IndyCar, man?
I don't know, because it feels like... Doesn't it feel like it's getting to be like a rich man club?
Sorta, but like then like yes and no.
Just like...
Because on one hand, yeah, rich man's club, but on the other hand, there's like a distinct level of incompetence at a lot of the decision-making levels. It feels like, and I get they're making decisions based on like what is making money, and they have to do that. But not having
They're not
like,
going
like
to
the,
Texas
the
this
lack
year.
of big ovals is a thing.
Yeah. Because we're scared or something. I don't know. Which, again, that
It's a good thing we're going to Indianapolis. A good thing we're going to Indianapolis. Yeah, whatever. Shut up.
Shit.
But yeah, like what's going on? Like I want to love IndyCar with all my heart.
I love IndyCar.
It's hard to love.
It is.
It's hard to love. It's genuinely so hard to love. They cut off their nose to spite their face more often than not. I just, you know,
Yeah.
I want it to be what I want it to be. and it's just not. It feels like we're getting closer and closer to this is a comment that I saw somewhere, and I agree with it. It's like we're getting closer and closer to the we like what we're seeing stage of IndyCar. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
That phrase makes me like physically ill.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, IndyCar, it's so frustrating because it's like what we've talked about 1,000 times. It's hard to follow because you never know when anything's on unless you are like actively seeking it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine if they had just like a nice tight condensed schedule instead of one like the truck series where you have like, oh yep, now we're gonna go a month without racing. Like so
except
annoying.
it's not the third tier national series of your sport. Yeah. It's the main event, and it's just like, okay, bye, see you for a month.
Yeah,
or
we have
see you in a month. I mean,
we have 2 weeks off between the opener and that $1 million race, and then we have another month off to St. Pete, I think.
So that's 5 weeks between points paying races.
How are we going to get any momentum as a series? Who is going to care?
Yeah, like it's hard. Okay, that now that you mention that pisses me off. That it's the season opener, non-points race, and then a month to the second race. It's 5 weeks.
Also, why is our non-points race the second race of the year?
Yeah, like what are we doing?
It's kind of goofy.
It's really goofy.
The Thermal Club.
Like IndyCar's always made extremely questionable decisions when it comes to on-track stuff that's like happened, like race control, and now it's like flooded into. Well, I mean, this has also always been a thing, but like the scheduling is now absolutely insane. Part
of the problem too is your first 2 points-paying races are street courses, so I'm assuming there's something with like you can only have it this weekend. But why then do we not try to fit the Barber race at like 2 weeks after St. Pete? Or something, so that way you have like a week off and then another race and then a week off and another, or like, you know, like,
yeah,
like I get it if you want to have gaps in the schedule to give teams time to like recuperate, but
yeah,
we go to Laguna Seca, then we get 2 weeks off, and then we go to Mid Ohio, then we go the following week for the Iowa doubleheader, then the following week we go to Toronto. So you're okay with doing like really intense for a month. And then we have 4 weeks off until our next race at Gateway. And then you have Gateway. A week later, you go to Portland. And then you go to Milwaukee a week later for a doubleheader. And then 2 weeks later, you do the championship. Yeah. What are we doing?
So this, I didn't talk about this at all a couple weeks ago, but the Super Motocross series was running at Chicagoland, and I was like, why are we not running IndyCar there? Nothing's happening there. Chicagoland produced nothing but absolute classics when IndyCar raced there.
Because they're scared.
It fits right into the regional market that they're going after. Like, and you could tell that like Chicagoland has nothing going for it right now. They literally like whenever Supercross goes to Daytona, they ship in their own dirt so they don't tear up the grass. The track crew at Chicagoland was like, just tear up the grass. We don't care. We're not doing anything with this. Take IndyCar there. Yeah. It's the Chicago market. It's only the third largest media market in the country.
Nah.
It's so stupid.
But we're doing the championship race in Nashville because that race has been awesome every year.
Oh my god. They're just doing the same stuff that NASCAR did in the 2000s.
Are we even racing at Laguna still? Are we? I think we are. When are we racing at Laguna? Let's see. Let's see if this makes sense.
June 23rd.
Oh, yeah, end of June. That's a great time to be racing in California.
Matt's reaction is the most important one.
Dude,
as a Californian, he looked distraught.
I don't go to Sonoma anymore because it's absolutely miserable in the summer. It is unbearable at Sonoma in the summer. It's like 110 degrees. And then they're like, let's move Laguna Seca right to this. It's literally the same date. Like that's... Sonoma used to be the week of my birthday.
Be on the 23rd.
Sonoma used to be the weekend of my birthday. every year. That was literally the only reason it was worth going to Sonoma. It's like, it's my home track. It's on the weekend of my birthday. Multiple times it was on my birthday. That's cool. Then they moved it earlier in the month, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going because I'm gonna die. And then they're like, what if we did the same thing with Laguna Seca? Jesus Christ. Every year, the idea of going to Laguna Seca gets floated around, and now I'm definitely not going. Absolutely not.
That's a rough one, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's like I don't see too many people happy with the schedule. Then again, what more can you really do when you're terrified of doing big ovals? Not much. I mean, is there a big oval really at all? No, other than Indy. Yeah, that's disappointing. Disappointing. I did just see a rumor. I haven't gotten to listen to DBC yet because I got home. I was a little busy, and then we started recording. Apparently, rumor from DBC: if Montreal does not work out, a rumor in the garage is that Iowa may get an Xfinity and Cup race next season.
Oh,
which would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
I'd be okay.
So
with
that's the hang up on the Cup schedule? Is Montreal, right?
Must be.
Gotta be.
Since when does Xfinity not go to Iowa anymore?
COVID.
I forgot about this.
Since COVID.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Which is unfortunate, but it would be really that is. I kind like as much as I want Montreal.
I'd rather race in Iowa than Montreal.
I'd rather race in Iowa than Montreal, and then maybe down the road we get a Montreal date later from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I could go to Iowa.
You know, when that first Bristol date is like 2,000 people show up, and it looks like the attendance that they're going to get at the Thermal Club $1 million challenge. Then we can go to Montreal.
Thermal Club $1 million challenge. I'm sorry.
That's what it's called, right?
It is. But we have to say that every time.
I'm going to call it by its full name every time.
It's like me with the Friends of Sim Racers Tour Racing League Mountain Dew Dash Series. Do you remember that?
I do.
That's how JTN got started.
I do remember that.
Doing drivers meeting intros for Randall.
Yeah.
All right. Bottom split
also,
moment.
real quick, before we go on to bottom split, one last thing. I know we've been on this for a long time. We got to kind of move through the rest of it. I just, what a contrast it has been looking at the IndyCar schedule this year and, the rumors for this upcoming year and even, the last few seasons, how generally happy everyone's kind of been with the NASCAR schedule. It's just such a funny reversal entirely. I don't know. I just find the contrast really interesting. Almost everyone's happy about the NASCAR schedule and the rumors about the NASCAR schedule, and every incoming rumor about the IndyCar schedule is just met with, But we move on. We got bottom split moments.
Bottom split moments. Davey, what's your bottom split moment from the week?
Oh man, my bottom split moment from the week. Boy, I had a big old tumble in the first USRL Cup Series race. On iRacing at Daytona. Season 10, race 1. Ran good all night. I think my average running position, Antonio calculated it, was 2.1 in a 20-car field. Had a big old wreck coming to the finish line. I was absolutely whipping it, barrel rolling, finished 8th. Pretty disappointing, but it was a cool wreck, so I guess I can get over it. Joe, if you want, if you happen to make a thing for this or whatever, a short, or if you want me to, I'll record that wreck just to have it, because it's fun to have. It's a good wreck. It's a good wreck.
Just do it.
Good carnage. I'll do it.
No, you need me to tell you to do it. Just do it.
I'll do it. You want me to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll bet you I'll do it.
Okay.
Joe, what's your bottom split moment?
Shoot. My bottom split moment had to be, gosh, there's a lot of really good ones this week. Let's go with, and neither of you will probably have seen this, but Ryan Day, Ohio State football coach. Ohio State gets a huge win over Notre Dame. We all know I hate Ohio. He goes on, they ask him, he gives this WWE-esque speech to the interview on NBC about how it's everyone against Ohio, the world hates Ohio, his team's so tough, and he just looked like the biggest knob, just, I don't know, it was funny. It wasn't bottom split because it was bad, it was just kind of funny. So
Is that there's Joe's hyper specific bottom split
it was
moment of the
very
week.
cringy. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird because you could tell it was like one of those things like you're trying to hype the guys up in the locker room, but it's not necessarily something that needs to be on TV. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I think we've seen. I mean, like Bubba. Like I didn't need Bubba to be like super down on himself on TV.
Mm.
You
I
get what
feel
I'm
you.
saying?
I smell you.
It was just kind of weird. I don't know, but good for them. I mean, it was a big win. So, I'm scared. Anyways, Matthew, what's your bottom split moment of the week?
My bottom split moment of the week is if you've followed me on Twitter for the last year, you've seen my when I'm in a crashing from the lead of a Supercross competition and my opponent is Chase Sexton meme that I've posted like 7 times this year. Well, guess what? He did it again. He was out front leading the second moto of the super motocross finale and was gonna finally beat Jet Lawrence and was gonna win the whole thing, and then inexplicably with like a 6-second lead did the exact same thing he's done like 6 times, pushed the front tire and absolutely launched himself and piled himself up big time. Didn't even finish the race. Hope he's okay, but like had to have done it at least 6 times throughout Supercross. The one time he hole shot at Jet Lawrence in outdoors, he crashed from the lead. And the one time he did it in this series, he crashed from the lead again. I don't know how Chase Sexton fans live because he does this every single time. It's insane. So that was my bottom split moment of the week. Honorary mention to the SMX website, which says they updated their points and it's still outdated from a month ago. So even though the series is over and it's still not updated. So
Matthew, what's your road to pro moment?
That's a good question. You're gonna have to come back to me on this one. I can't remember.
Davey, what's your road to pro moment?
I made some really good Cajun chicken pasta this weekend on Saturday night. Man, it was good. I was a little weak on the Alfredo sauce. I should have added more, but it was good. I have like the last couple of years, I've really impressed myself with my own cooking. I'm very glad that I wouldn't call it a skill yet, but I'm glad I've gotten better at it because man, is it delicious to eat food that you cook, and it's fun. And you can I put on good music. I put like some like jazzy kind of stuff. Usually, it's nice. It's good little like jazzy kind of funk music, like instrumental. It's nice. It's good. It's a good time. It's great prep for the USORL Cup Series race at Daytona, Season 10, Round 1. Round 2 coming to you live from D7H5 on Twitch.
I was gonna say, there's no broadcast for that, is there?
Nope, except for mine.
Someone should remedy that.
What, you want me to stream to the JTN Twitch?
I don't care. You do what you want to do, boo.
I'm asking you. You're the boss man. You're the boss man here, big boss man, big boss guy. Boss man. You make the decisions, boss man. Decision maker man, boss man. Joe's my boss.
It's a pro moment. You're flattering me. My road to pro moment. Gosh. What was my road to pro moment? Oh, I made ribs on Friday that were really good, so.
We are a cooking show now.
We were a music show, then we talked about racing for a little bit, now we're a cooking show. Matt, what did you cook over the weekend, and why was it your road to pro moment?
I hate to break up the streak, but I didn't. But I did remember what mine was. So it's also going to be moto related. You're just going to have to deal with it.
That's fine.
So Phil Nicoletti is a 17-year veteran of motocross, which most guys last like 8 years. So he's just like a grumpy old man at this point. And everybody in the broadcast crew loves to mess with him because he's really grumpy all the time. And this season for the SMX playoff thing, he had to go through the last chance qualifier, and he won all 3 of them. And he was very vocal about how not happy he was having to run an extra race every week. And so after he won the 3rd one, they presented him with an LCQ 2023 champion #1 plate. And they're like, here you go. You're the champion.
Oh my God.
So that was my road to pro moment. It was funny because he had to bite his tongue on TV about how pissed off he was. So, yeah.
All right. Picks for the weekend: Trucks, Cup, Talladega. Davey's gonna pick Parker Clearman. Matt's gonna pick Brett Moffitt. I'm gonna pick
no.
Zane Smith.
Do not put that evil on
what
me.
the hell are you doing, you maniac? Good Lord Almighty!
What truck is Brett Moffitt even driving?
The 34. The front row.
Oh my God, there's a second
Yeah.
front row truck.
Well, I picked it for you.
And I don't want that.
Let's see.
Who do I want?
I'm looking here.
Me trying to shorten the show. These guys. Hey, let me just look at the entry list that I know I should
Chandler
have
Smith.
pulled up in the first. Brackley War going to go to Victory Lane for the second straight
Brett
year.
Holmes.
Brett Holmes going to go to Victory Lane for the second straight
we
year.
didn't even talk about Matt DiBenedetto getting fired.
Who cares?
Exactly.
He was like, "Hey, I'm leaving," and they're like, "Cool, you're not driving anymore." And he was like, "What the hell?"
Thought you were leaving, bud.
If it isn't the consequences of my own action.
Matt DiBenedetto, what a
How to squander an
How to go
extremely
from
promising career.
almost
101.
winning at Bristol in a Levine car to out of a
Dude, it's
truck
like he-
series ride.
It's like he didn't learn his lesson with how poorly he managed the end of his Wood Brothers stint, and was like
Man,
somehow surprised that he got fired at the end of the year.
I thought I had a chance to stay in this 21 car. I still remember listening to him on XM because they had him on XM. And I think he was on like Larry Mack and Daniel Trotta's show, and they're both like, dude, didn't you know that you weren't returning no matter what? Because
It's not like they publicly announced it.
Didn't you find it weird that you weren't doing any of the next gen testing?
It's
Oh my
I gotta
god,
make that a
dude.
meme now. Where it's the SpongeBob scene where he's like, "Woo! I just texted the next gen," and Matt Bennett is like, "I'm tested mine next," and he's like, "Hey, I doubt it."
Supposedly he's someone that's rumored for a colleague seat. Don't know if I buy that, but
I don't buy that. Not for a second.
we'll see.
I mean, if we're truly into the point of colleague going, can anybody here drive? Anybody? Then maybe.
It's not good.
And I want to reemphasize, like, Matt DiBenedetto has the talent to be in the Cup Series. He's just terrible at managing his own career.
How can I
Oh
make
my
Ford
gosh.
want to take me out of this car?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to make myself as unhireable as possible. God.
I'm gonna blame it on other things. I'm still gonna take Zane Smith. So. Who are you taking, Davey?
And trucks?
Yeah. Who'd you say?
The person that started this whole discussion.
Oh, Chandler.
Chandler Smith.
Yeah.
Parker Klagerman?
I hate you.
Cup picks, Talladega. Who's winning?
Ryan Priest.
Oh, please, not tumbling down the back straightaway again.
I don't know.
Although there's no grass back there, so he should be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be stupid. Austin Cindric.
Eric
God.
Jones. We all picked our favorite drivers.
Noted Austin Cindric fan, Matthew Steelman here. Yep.
No, it'll be like Joey Logano or something. It'll be stupid.
Yeah.
God, Payne, don't say that, dude.
Joey Logano's gonna be like, "Hey, how could I ruin everyone's playoff chances? Oh, big wreck from a stupid block. Here we go."
I'm Joey Logano. Welcome to Jackass.
You just really start off every race with that.
On top of...
Yeah, and then it's just like 80 cars all piled into each other.
Anyways, that's the show. We'd like to remind you to like, comment, subscribe. We didn't remind you at the start because why would we? Viewership's been down the last couple weeks. Let's get it back up. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect better from you guys, if I'm being honest.
This was a fun episode, so
I
I
need you guys to
expect
try
it to
harder.
come back up a little bit.
I'm going to need you guys to listen harder next time.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Listen way harder.
And if you've listened this far and you put in the comments down below, I don't know, grit, all one word, spelled like this,
Let's get Regan Smith to call his 16 going in the comments. How about
get
that?
you.
Oh my god.
We'll give you a 10% off code for the JTN merch store. Again, if you reply with grit in the
I'm
comments.
gonna reply
below.
before the video's even public.
Okay, again, that's
ruin it for everybody.
grit in the comments. And yeah, we'll give you 10% off code the JTN merch store, so you can buy some new Fake Racers podcast merch.
Woo!
I
gotta buy it.
I'm pretty sure it's public.
I gotta buy it now. Actually, I'm gonna do it.
I don't even know if it's up. Being honest, go check it out. You can follow Davey at Davey Hazard at D7H5.
Davey Hazard, D7H5er on Twitch. I'll be streaming the USRL Cup races until we get
10:30 p.m.
10:30ish.
Okay. Until you get a broadcaster.
Until we get a broadcaster. So I'm adding all of these Fake Racers podcast merch. Excuse me. Well, do you want to broadcast iRacing, Joe?
No one's. Hey,
how much is it?
I don't know.
How much? How much?
I don't know.
I'll Venmo you.
I can't this
right
weekend, so.
Okay.
Or
how
next
much
weekend.
Let me choose a race on the schedule then. Okay.
Oh,
and
man.
then you tell me how much.
Matt, see what I got myself into.
Well, you said that you talk too much shit. That's your problem.
You open this can of worms, now laying it.
Okay. What's a good
Why
race?
am I
to
laying
do?
in the can of worms?
When's the first weekend you're free?
Never 42nd?
October 28th?
No.
October 21st?
No.
October 14th?
No.
October 7th?
Nope.
Wow, you are just fucking lying. That's really
I'm
cute.
not actually.
Okay.
I wish I was.
What about
but I'm
what
not.
about what about
Let's
what
do-
about November?
what's
What
in
about November
December?
11th?
What's in December?
November 11th.
What about December?
November 11th.
What about
November
December?
11th.
December.
You are.
I'm sure this is fantastic to listen to
This
right
is
now.
great. Folks, while we try to get
November-
this figured out, listen to Matt
November
tell
11th.
you about some awesome deals.
Anyway, just you can find me on Oofsides. That'll be up sometime this week as well. You can
Listen
listen
to
to
it,
the
it's
other
really
episodes too.
It's actually fun, even if you don't like football.
Yeah.
What are you doing November 11th, Joe?
Football.
Okay, we'll
Davey, we'll
not.
talk about this off air. I have some things I need to talk to you
Let's
about.
end the show. Let's
Let's
end
end
the
the
show,
show.
please.
God.
End the show.
It was Joe's fault. Joe did it. Don't let him gaslight you into thinking this is my fault. It was Joe's fault.
We can't thank you enough for watching. Can't thank you enough for listening. Can't thank you enough for leaving a comment, leaving a review, because you're going to do that. You're going to say this is the best podcast you ever listened to. You're going to leave 5 stars, and we love you so freaking much. Yeah, man.
And I'm just going to record a bumper send
like,
it to Joe, and
comment,
he'll put it at the
subscribe,
beginning
or
of the
we'll
podcast anyway, too.
Like, comment, or subscribe, or we'll find you.
Like, dominant, blah, 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 blah.
I can't speak. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Find that guy.
We'll see you guys on the next
I'm gonna
episode of
find
Fake
you.
Racers Podcast. Bye.
Bye.